Good evening, I'm Norma Ortiz.
And I'm Steve Schuster. Here's what's coming up next on Panthervision.
Popular votes.
We'll tell you how to protect yourself for the price of a pizza.
We ask people to wash their hands.
And we'll tell you why the beach was packed on a 30-degree day.
UWM dancers are taking little steps toward big change. All that and more coming up next on Panthervision.
From the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, this is UWM Panthervision. A weekly newscast reported, written, and produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication. And now, the news.
Good evening. With voting just one day away, the candidates are making their final push for your vote.
With polls showing a tight race here, Wisconsin is a key battleground, and both parties have their troops on the ground. President Obama is in Madison today, 2 days after making an appearance in Milwaukee. And Republican challenger Mitt Romney rallied his troops at State Fair Park. We have team coverage tonight in Your Vote 2012. We'll start with Amy Watanabe's coverage of Obama's Milwaukee visit.
This isn't your typical campaign ad. Baby, she's a firework.
Yeah, I was in the dark, I was falling hard, with an open heart.
Katy Perry is backing the president and his policies, urging all citizens to vote.
I know there's some people out there who come Tuesday and be like, I'm too tired, or it doesn't really count, or I'm 65, or whatever. Well, my grandma's 91 and she can barely walk, and she took herself to the polls. So, y'all got no excuse.
And President Obama, too. During the Bush administration, 15-year-olds were behind in math and science, according to the U.S. Department of Education.
That's why I want to recruit 100,000 math and science teachers so our kids don't fall behind the rest of the world.
And with the price of education on the rise,
That's why I want to cut the growth of tuition in half over the next 10 years.
he already has. Pell dollars grew 26% in 2009 from increasing funding, changing eligibility, and the state of the economy. Cohesia Blaylock says education is important.
He couldn't really make a difference in the last 4 years because he was put in such a bad situation. However, I feel if we give him 4 more years, he could definitely make the change that he said he would do.
Obama says he's not leaving anyone behind.
As long as there's a child any place in Milwaukee, any place in Wisconsin, any place in this country who's languishing in poverty and barred from opportunity, our fight goes on.
In Milwaukee for Panthervision, I'm Amy Watanabe.
I'm Tyler Berg. In the final days leading up to the election, candidate Mitt Romney is making his closing argument speech at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds.
Hello, West Dallas!
And a handful of Wisconsin politicians are showing their support.
Wisconsin is the epicenter of politics today.
With a local star and an eager crowd on hand, Mitt Romney is looking for last-minute votes.
This state is going to help me become the next president.
And on November 6th, Wisconsin could make all the difference.
Mitt Romney has shown throughout that Wisconsin is going to be one of those key battleground states.
This Tuesday is a moment to look into the future and imagine what we can do to put the past 4 years behind us and start building a new future. You saw the differences, by the way, when President Obama and I were side by side in our debates.
Recent polls in Wisconsin give President Obama the lead, but not everyone's sold.
Yeah, it's a little scary, but I mean, we got Walker through a recall. When 70% of our country feels we're going in the wrong direction, they are not going to elect the same president over again.
Tomorrow night, we'll see who the American people elect as the next president of the United States.
Waiting for us. I need your vote. I need your help. Walk with me.
In West Dallas, I'm Tyler Berg for Panthervision.
The vice presidential candidates are hitting the state hard as well.
Republican Paul Ryan made visits to the Green Bay area, Eau Claire, and Racine. And Democrat Joe Biden went after the college vote with his visits to UW-Oshkosh and UW-Parkside. At Parkside, Biden blasted the budget proposed by his vice presidential opponent.
Well, let me tell you whose growth it slows. Every one of you college students here, that's whose growth it slows. It eliminates flat out, already voted on it, it eliminates the $2,500 tuition college tax credit that allows millions of middle-class families to keep their kids in school. It cuts Pell Grants. How many on Pell Grants in here? Well, get ready. If they win, it cuts your Pell Grants.
Biden told the crowd that neither he nor President Obama would be where they are if it weren't for college scholarships.
President Obama is speaking in Madison again today. All of the candidates have hit the college campuses hard during the campaign, and here's why. There are 16.8 million young people who have reached voting age since the 2008 election, and many of them are undecided, like 2 UWM students who appeared on the Broadcast Club's program, Panther Pause.
I'm going into the polls because you have the opportunity to make a difference, and I think informing yourself the best you can, going in and knowing who you're voting for and what they stand for means a lot.
Right. I have watched the presidential debates, and that's really the only kind of information I've gotten out of it. I just wanted to see how they're done and see what the nominees have to say.
Of the new voters in the 2008 election, 1/3 of them have moved and had to re-register.
Alverno College will be shutting down for Election Day. Students, faculty, and staff will be given the day off to practice what Alverno is calling effective citizenship. Students are not required to become involved beyond voting, but the college offers a poll worker training session through the Milwaukee Election Commission. About 200 students opted to train to work at the polls. The program is paid for by a grant from the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. Alverno also shuts down for the 2008 election.
Coming up next, we'll tell you how Hurricane Sandy is affecting Wisconsin.
And students are taking shots, but it's not what you think. We'll explain.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, Judge Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
Students and staff are finding more than lunch in the union.
There are other ways for students to stay healthy, and that's not just eating. Panthervision's Justin Wheeler has the story.
Ask the average college student, hey, did you get your flu shot for the year? And they'll probably look at you like you're from Mars. Dr. Julie Bonner of the UWM Norris Health Center is trying to bring kids back down to earth. She says a flu shot is vital for people of all ages.
You know, the flu is something that occurs every single year. And really, even to young people, it's very important for them to be able to stay active, stay in class, go to work, there's social events, and the flu can really put somebody under the weather for 5 days or even longer in terms of the symptoms.
This past Wednesday, students from the UWM nursing program administered flu shots for a fee of $10. As people walked the halls of the Union, a steady stream of students and members of the community did their part to fight the flu. Some folks didn't mind the needle. Others, including Dr. Bonner, had to look away. Chancellor Michael Lovell stopped by. He says he's happy to see a mutually beneficial event helping everyone stay healthy.
You know, it's great service provided, you know, the people on the campus, the community, but also it's also a training experience for our students. So what better way to merge an educational opportunity with a service to the community? So,
for most, influenza means a couple days sick in bed. But the World Health Organization says 65,000 people die every year from influenza. On a campus with thousands of people sharing limited space, Dr. Bonner says a flu shot is your best defense against infection.
We ask people to wash their hands and do some very common things. Again, they're spending a lot of time in close quarters. So again, colleges and universities are environments where we're really trying to get our vaccination rates up to protect the entire community.
Bonner says Norris Health Center plans to do more flu shot clinics as the winter season rolls along. In Milwaukee, I'm Justin Wheeler for Panthervision.
The next clinic is Tuesday, November 13th from 4 to 7 p.m. in Sandburg Flicks.
The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is awarding Marquette a $100,000 grant. The money will be used to combine Marquette's social innovation initiative with the New York Fixes project. Fixes is a newspaper column that explores solutions to social issues. The collaboration will be called Fixes You, a website that professors can use for social entrepreneurship and innovation in the classroom.
There are numerous precautions that students can take to stay safe. MATC reporter Will Bagari has the story.
Around MATC's downtown campus is usually quite congested.
It can be a pretty hectic place at times. There's a lot of traffic that comes through for the courthouses and for school as well.
Sherry Olszewski of MATC's Department of Public Safety explained how the college is working to make the flow of traffic safer.
We work with the City of Milwaukee and with the Milwaukee Police Department on a joint study to find out what's best for the campus and the pedestrians, drivers around the campus, and what the city can use to accommodate us. In February of this year, we added audible and timed signals to the traffic lights around the campus. Some of the other features that we have worked with the City of Milwaukee for is to restripe the crosswalks that are around the campus. So that's really just painting the old crosswalks so that they're more visible to pedestrians and to drivers. And then we've also added another crosswalk on 8th Street between the parking structure and the campus. So there's a crosswalk in the center of the street to prevent people from jaywalking. Safety around the campus is our main focus, and that's inside the buildings and outside the buildings as well. Pedestrians walking to and from the campus, students driving to and from the campus, and then just being mindful that we are in the downtown area.
William Biggery, UWM's Panthervision.
You can call the Public Safety Office at 414-297-6588 to file a report.
Hurricane Sandy's impact on the East Coast is devastating, but the superstorm was able to give Milwaukee a small taste of its power. Panthervision Steve Garrison has a story.
You wouldn't be able to tell by looking, but presidential hopeful Mitt Romney is supposed to be here in an hour. Few people stop by, but they mostly just drive on. That's because the speech isn't taking place here. Romney's communications director, Gail Gitcho, says the rally was canceled out of sensitivity for the millions of Americans in the path of Hurricane Sandy. That's news to Anita Kurz.
Was excited to be able to see them live and you know, get into all the excitement of the campaign, and wanted to show our support. So,
although she says she is disappointed, there are other things to be concerned about.
Hoping that, you know, out east people are safe, that, you know, God will protect them, and that it won't be as bad as they say. So,
800 miles and 4 lakes separate Wisconsin from Sandy's arrival point in southern New Jersey, but its destructive force is being felt here. Milwaukeeans are flooding into Bradford Beach Tuesday to catch a glimpse of Sandy's power. Some waves at the beach are reported to reach over 20 feet tall. Ramon Rodriguez heard on the news about the waves and came with his family to take pictures.
It's crazy. Just the colors and the waves, never seen it before like this. So it's just really weird. There's nothing I've never seen before.
UWM professor and meteorologist Bart Adrian says Milwaukee caught some of the strong winds on Hurricane Sandy's far western flank.
The biggest societal impact is clearly out east, where they're going to take days and weeks and months and maybe even years in some cases to recover from the flooding.
Cleanup on the East Coast is expected to take weeks, and losses through damage and productivity are estimated at $45 billion. In Milwaukee, I'm Steve Garrison with Panthervision.
Scientists at UW-Madison were key in helping predict Hurricane Sandy's route. The university's Institute for Meteorological Satellite Studies gets data such as wind speed, temperature, and moisture from satellite imagery. With these satellites, the scientists were able to accurately predict the hurricane's destructive path 5 to 6 days in advance of the storm, saving countless of lives. Madison scientists work with the National Hurricane Center, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and the National Weather Service. UW-Madison is the birthplace of satellite meteorology.
Lila Girl is here now with the weather.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
You were at the lakefront during Sandy's waves visits. How was that like?
It was very surprising to see that such a big superstorm can affect the Midwest that much. You know, we're not even close to the coast at all.
Not at all.
And I've never seen anything like that except for, you know, when I'm on the ocean, but that's completely different.
Definitely.
This is fresh water, not salt water.
And waves that large are pretty unusual for Milwaukee.
They are, and I was actually a little scared when I was up there. I'm like, I'd like to go home now, but you know, this week, since Hurricane Sandy is finally diminished, we are able to see that, you know, the Mr. Blue Sky is going to peek out from underneath the clouds this week. And as the Doors singing their song about Indian summer, well, for us it's no more. So this week we're going to have to grab your jackets because it's going to be a little chilly out there. Currently, the weather today, it's partly cloudy, a temperature of 42 degrees, the dew point at 29 degrees, and the barometric pressure at 30.21 inches. Later on, as we get throughout the day, the precipitation is at 10%, and our low today is going to be about 32, and our high at 43. So overnight, the lows, we had Rhinelander up at 25, La Crosse over at 34, and Milwaukee was down to 31 degrees, so you know, stay warm. The highs throughout the state, Green Bay had a high of 42, Eau Claire 47, Madison 47, and Milwaukee at 45. And as we continue looking on throughout the week, we can see that tonight it's going to be clear skies, a low of 33. So again, just stay warm inside your buildings, and the wind is going to be east and northeast at about 6 miles per hour. And tomorrow it's going to be a little rainy, so bring your umbrellas. The high tomorrow is going to be 41, low at 34, and the wind south-southwest at about 14 miles per hour. Wednesday, Mr. Blue Sky is going to come back out again and peek his way through so we can see the pretty fall colors. The high of 42, low of 33, and the winds northwest at about 9 miles per hour. As we continue on looking out throughout the week, you can see it's going to be close to the 50s on Thursday and Friday, and it'll be in the 50s for the weekend. It's going to be partly sunny for the rest of the week, and on the weekend it's going to be rainy. So whatever your weekend plans are, just make sure to stay dry and all that stuff.
Thanks, Lila.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
MATC doesn't just promote reading for homework. They partner with the Scholastic Book Organization to bring children's books to campus. MATC reporter Dan Fisher has a story.
Recently, MATC held its fall book fair at the downtown Milwaukee campus. Lorraine Tyler is the book fair organizer.
Well, I first started the book fair in 2006. I wanted to do an activity for Week of the Young Child. And Week of the Young Child is an event that goes on we set aside a week in April of every year to recognize young children. And so I was looking for an event to do during that week, and somehow I ran across Scholastic Book Fair, and I decided to bring it. So that was the first time I brought the book fair here to MATC in 2006 for Week of the Young Child.
I actually have been involved with the Scholastic Book Fair for 3 semesters. My first semester, I got involved because the book fair is run by the Teacher Education Office, and I'm actually in the Teacher Education program for early childhood education. Through the Scholastic Book Fair, I actually got involved with the Student Wisconsin Education Association, and now we're actually co-sponsors of the book fair with the TEP.
was. I like the variety of the books. It's like different genres, varieties, you know, for all ages, different ages. I just like how if you like one thing, or, you know, whether it's cars or sports or anything, you can just come to the book fair and they have more than enough books for you to choose from.
For Panthervision, I'm Dan Fisher.
Books can still be purchased online until tomorrow at matc.edu. Look in the event calendar section. When we come back, we will tell you if the women's soccer team won their first straight league in the title game.
And we turn our attention to the Peck School of the Arts and their harmonizing routine. All that and more when we return.
This is where powerful ideas lead to proven results. This is where you belong.
Thanks for watching UWM Panthervision, judged Best Student Newscast by the Northwest Broadcast News Association. Panthervision is produced by students in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication in association with Milwaukee Area Technical College.
One UW women's team is striving for a championship, while another is just looking for a win.
Justin Wheeler joins us with sports. Justin?
Thanks, guys. The UWM women's team punched their ticket to the NCAA tournament in dramatic fashion. Panthervision's Amy Watanabe was there to catch all the action.
He's been at nearly every game.
That was a whiff, wasn't it?
Since his daughter was 6 years old.
She was trying.
And Dave Steinhauser
Go Black!
is hoping tonight won't be the last.
Oh boy, oh boy. That was scary.
It's not. His daughter Helen and the Panthers beat Loyola. But 2 overtimes is hard on any day.
Oh! Almost. Yes!
The win puts the Panthers into the championship game for the 5th straight year.
I just get nervous as, I don't know what.
Another defensive battle and another double overtime win.
I mean, the team played awesome. We had a really hard game on Friday, and so I think, you know, our legs definitely weren't 100%, and we just fought through it. I mean, for another overtime game, that's huge. That's just guts.
I was pleased with our team's performance. We put ourselves in some good positions to score, and sometimes with the game, you just have to be patient, and that's a tough thing to be, especially in tournament play moments, and I was really proud to see the patience that our group displayed.
The Panthers find out their NCAA opponent later today. In Milwaukee, I'm Amy Watanabe for Panthervision.
The UWM championship season was led by Horizon League Player of the Year Helen Steinhauser. The senior midfielder started all 15 games for the Panthers and sat out only 34 minutes the entire season. Steinhauser gives UWM its 4th straight Player of the Year following three-time winner Sarah Hagen. Steinhauser and Hagen are the only players in school history to win Newcomer of the Year and Player of the Year in their Panthervision careers. Steinhauser was joined on the All-Horizon League first team by teammates Kelly Lewers and Kelsey Holbert. The men's soccer team will be playing in the Horizon League tournament. They got a 2-1 victory over Valparaiso Saturday night. Sophomore Kyle Newman scored in the 39th minute to give the Panthers a 1-0 lead, and sophomore Lori Bell capped it off, and the Panthers scored again in the 59th minute. The win clinches the Panthers' 5th seed spot in this week's tournament. The Panthers will play Valparaiso again, this time in the first round of the tournament on Tuesday. The women's volleyball team is looking for answers after dropping 3 straight games at home. The Panthers lost to crosstown rival Marquette in 3 sets on Tuesday. The Panthers then dropped a pair of conference matches this weekend to UIC and Loyola, both in 4 sets. A bright spot for the Panthers was Julie Kolinsky, who recorded 18 kills versus UIC. Saturday night, senior Anna Bartz passed the 1,000 career digs plateau in the loss to Loyola. The Panthers are now 3-10 in Horizon League play. They finished the regular season this weekend with matches at Wright State and Valparaiso. That's it for sports. Back to you guys.
There's a new plan on campus called the Harmony Initiative.
But this harmonization is not contemporary to any kind of melody.
Panthervision's Tom Momberg has the story.
With UWM on the spotlight for growth in the community, one department is taking little steps toward their own new spotlight.
And so when we started the idea of the Harmony Initiative, it was to put these 3 institutions together, no? The Department of Dance, Apex School of the Arts, the Milwaukee Ballet, and the Medical College of Wisconsin. So it seems quite natural to put these 3 elements together.
The Department of Dance Chair, Simone Ferro, says a partnership with the Milwaukee Ballet is not new, but the Medical College can help dancers push their bodies with 21st century technology.
Because they have a lot in common, which is the human body. And so we both train people to be better movers, better dancers, and the best dancers that they can be.
Although they're all just plans at the moment, the prospect is a new collaborative building downtown to interact with the theater district, including a new 400-seat theater.
So it's going to be a more hands on the dough, so the theater is going to be part of their everyday training.
Arts Dean Scott Emmons says that it will be a good way for the school to work in the community.
Our goal not to just have our students or Milwaukee Ballet people there or the Milwaukee Ballet School people, but also reach out to different elementary schools, high schools, Milwaukee public schools, and so on.
Dean Emmons hopes that UWM will lead the way in dance education.
I'm pretty sure it'll be a nationally known center. I think it'll serve as a model that a lot of other institutions will want to try to emulate.
And it's very important for us that that facility is going to be a landmark for the promotion of the arts.
Of course, it's small steps, but developers say that we may start seeing use of the new facility by 2015. In Milwaukee, I'm Tom Momberg for UWM Panthervision.
The Harmony Initiative is not being funded by any UWM organization, but many local donors have already displayed interest in contributing to the project. The Richard and Ethel Herzfeld Foundation has put forward a $1 million commitment.
Thanks for joining us for this edition of UWM Panthervision.
You can watch us anytime on Time Warner's Wisconsin On Demand Channel 411.
You can also see us on Time Warner Channel 14, AT&T UVerse Channel 99 at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays and Fridays.